Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Cousin Gina.
Today we have Cousin Gina. Kelly's not with us. We're going to be recapping McBee Dynasty. We did a major recap last week, and this one's going to be, we're going to do episode by episode. So this one is season 2, episode number 7. It's called Nashville Hot. The episode title's okay. I don't love the title.
But it was a good episode.
It was a good episode. We start out with Cole is back from his baby moon. Steven announces that they are going to Nashville for the weekend, and it's for business, and they all have to go. It's a few weeks before Jesse's wedding, and Cole has just promised Kaci that he wasn't going to be drinking as much anymore after the Ozarks trip. So it's going to be a problem for their significant others at this point because, you know, they see what happens. They know what happens when they go off to Nashville. It's not good. It's not good.
And I blame Steve, Jude.
You do?
Yeah, it's like he has, I don't want to jump to the end with the talk with his mom, but it's like, you don't have other friends that you can go party with? You know, I saw his younger brother brought friends. Yeah. You know what, Steve? Bring a friend of yours, and then you go out with your friend. You don't drag your brothers, who are both in good relationship, and one's getting married and one's having a baby, into bars. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So Steven's like, well, they're going down there for business. There's a spice plant down there and they need to get some spices for the meats, which I get if they're going there for business, but then you go there for business and you come home. You don't have to go there for business and then party. But
Did you look how far it was?
I did not. Did you?
Yeah, I did, but I don't remember. But it wasn't close. I think Kansas City or something is closer.
Yeah.
But they own that place. It sounds like they own it.
Yes, they definitely own that place that they stay at in Nashville.
Yeah.
Because even Steve said, well, I mean, Steven Sr., the father, said to Brooke, I know you love Nashville and you can use the Nashville place. And then she tried to pick up the keys and Galyna was there and kind of put the kibosh on that. So I think that they definitely own that place. I don't know that they actually Airbnb it. I think that they're using it a lot.
Well, the only reason I said that was when they all went in this episode, they were all saying how they hadn't been there in so long. Oh, I haven't been here in a year and this and that. And I'm thinking, they're pretty smart business people. And the way the place was decorated led me to believe it's an Airbnb. Because it really they may have done it for the TV show.
Right.
But it looks to me like it could be an Airbnb.
I actually think that's where Steven Sr.'s been staying. I think he's been staying in Nashville. So
that's, you
know, and I think that that's the reason that they all went out there. I mean, you know, Steven Jr. said it was because of the spices and it was business. But I think it was because his plan was to bring his father back in and reunite him with the boys because they all said that they hadn't seen their father in months. And at first I thought that we're not seeing him on camera, but I think that he really removed himself. I think he was in probably that Nashville house. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what else we find out.
Was he not filming just because he was trying to get the attention off of himself? Or did they want to film it differently to see if it could survive if he goes to jail?
I mean, I think it could be a combination of that and plus the toxicity between Masha and Galyna. You know, if he's around and Masha's around, then that's going to be a problem, right?
After the damage, we'll talk about that, but they're very violent ladies, the two of them.
The
really two Russian women are very violent, and I would have told my father, keep us out of your crap because they're all getting involved and it's an ugly scene, but I guess they're doing it for the TV show. Hence the reason last episode, the mother met with Galyna.
Yeah. And, I listened to their podcast and Tessa was on their last podcast. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to it.
No, I didn't.
So I really like Tessa. You know,
Love her.
she's like the fuel truck. But she's like the mom. She's like, and Steven, Junior even said she's like a second mom to him
Mhm.
because she's been with them for so long. But what we didn't see is and they thought we did see it, but it never aired. So she was in Nashville also. She was in Nashville in the studio recording an album, and the boys had given her that as a gift for her to go and record. Like, she is a
Who was
singer.
recording?
Tessa. Tessa.
Tessa?
Yes. So we see her in the one episode where
Hmm.
she's singing with I think it's her brother.
That was
Yes,
a couple episodes ago.
yes. So she's a singer and she's a songwriter. And it's
Oh,
always
good
been
for
her
her.
dream, but she's never really followed it. And the boys encouraged her to follow her dream, and they gave her this recording session as a gift. And she was in Nashville recording while they were there, and they must have filmed it because they talked about how you'd see it on the season, unless it's something
Mhm.
that's gonna come, but we didn't see it while they were in Nashville. I'm hoping it's something that we see because I would really like to have Tessa get her flowers, and Steven said, like, she's could be a star in her own right, like, she could have her
Yeah.
own show. So, I'm here for that for Tessa, for sure.
I like her personality. I like her relationship with the boys, and I think she brings a lot to the show.
I do too.
Not so I mean, Galyna, she's good, but I mean, she's a one-trick pony, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna have much of a storyline. It's sad because in this episode, she was sitting next to Steven Sr. having, at this dinner that they all had, and my heart was breaking for her because she loves him.
Yeah.
She truly loves him. But you
Yeah.
know what? You know what? I'm saying this as a wife. Bitch, you broke up my marriage. You deserve what you get.
You lose them like you get them.
Yep,
You lose them like you
exactly.
get them, right? So
Mhm.
Cole, before they go on the trip to Nashville, he's saying that it's supposed to be Casey's maternity photo shoot. So he's going to have to ask for permission to go because he's going to be missing that.
I
So
would
Steve,
not have been okay with that.
no, Steven calls up Casey and asks for permission, and she kind of grants him permission. She gives him one. She gives him two things he has to do: no women at the house, and that he's supposed to call her at the end of the night when he gets home before he goes to bed. That's all she asks for.
Fail, fail.
Yep. Steven said this is the longest he's been broken up from Kayla since they started dating, which, listen, she's not good for him, so I'm good for that, right?
Did you see the preview for next week?
Uh,
She's back.
yeah, I did see the preview.
It
Yeah.
didn't run at the end of this episode. It ran in a commercial
Yeah.
and they showed them hooking up or, whatever, getting together again.
Mhm.
But no, she's not right for him. And unless you make that break, that clean break, they're not gonna, they're an easy,
Yeah, they
rolling the
are.
hay.
I mean, you see Steven in his place, he's going around putting away all the pictures of the two of them, which is a good start. Like, you don't wanna have it all over your place, right?
I don't think he loves her. I don't think he truly loves her.
Well, listen, he's always said family comes first, and his family does not like her. So that relationship is never going to work, regardless of how he feels for her or not. It's never gonna work. He's already
I
made that known.
bet she went into that relationship when she got in meeting the family, acting like her shit doesn't stink.
Yeah.
Because Allie, what are the two sister-in-laws?
Allie and Casey.
Al Allie and Kaci are the nicest girls. I really don't think that they would freeze her out.
No,
I
no.
think it would not and I mean, she's from Dallas, it's not like she's from San Francisco or Los Angeles or New York, she's a country girl, and I think Calla didn't try hard enough.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably
Yeah.
right. So Allie calls Jesse when they're on their way to Nashville and says that Casey's really upset with Cole. Steven is maintaining that it's a work trip. Then we see Christy talking to Casey and Allie. And, she's upset about this, business trip or Nashville party. And listen, I love that Christy went and sat down with Casey and Allie and voiced her opinion because she is the matriarch of this family.
And she
She's
doesn't want her sons turning into their father.
right, right.
And she is also, again, because of Steve's legal status, she may need to step in and take over,
Mhm.
as the elder of the show, which I'm fine with. I don't like Steve Senior. He doesn't do anything for me. He's kind of smart, what's that word? Smarmy?
Yeah.
Scummy? It's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, Christy says it, Steven has said it, like, Cole is the most like his dad. He acts the most like his dad. And so, of course, Casey's gonna be a little bit worried. Casey's been with him for 10 years, so she would know. Like, she
and he's
knows.
having his baby.
Yes, and she's having his baby.
And Allie and Jesse too have been together since high school.
Yeah, I mean, they've been together for a long time as well.
And I love that the mother loves these ladies, loves
Mhm.
the girls that her sons are in relationships with, because we're married. We know your mother-in-law can make or break a relationship. I was blessed I had a great mother-in-law,
Yeah,
but
I have a great
I've
mother-in-law
seen
too.
people that didn't, and
Yeah.
it can bring nightmares, daily nightmares.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So Casey even says, "I don't wanna be married to a Steve McBee." And there better not be any reels on Instagram with girls at the house. Braden and Steven are the only two that are single right now, the youngest brother. So Steve brings up to Jesse that it's 2 weeks before your wedding and you still haven't signed the prenup. So Cole and Steven tell Jesse if he doesn't get a prenup, then he's going to have to take his name off the business. It's too big of a risk. Listen, I understand what they're saying, but when you hear Jesse, you could see he's very uncomfortable with this. He doesn't wanna have the conversation, and I get it because, that's a hard conversation to have with somebody. I think that they're right in bringing it up. I think that, a prenup is not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing for her either.
I don't think anybody should get married without a prenup. You have no idea what's gonna happen 10, 20 years down the road.
Right.
But I think in his case, he should approach it as, have the prenup written that the business, you don't have to say it's all or nothing. You could
Right.
say anything related to the McBee Dynasty, businesses is, I mean, she might be entitled to some of it, but that can be excluded, and just things not included like your home, your bank account, stuff like
Right.
that. Their own
Right.
personal assets.
Right. Right. Listen, and we don't know what's even gonna happen with the business, right? Like, does she even know that there's an FBI investigation? Probably not, right?
I think at this point everybody would know because they leaked it on the show, so that timeline.
I would hope so. I mean, I would
I
hope
do
so.
too.
I would hope so.
They should have had a family meeting as soon as that happened. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a scary thing to have hanging over your head.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
He could have get 30 years jail.
I know, I know. So it's Casey's baby shower also while they're gone, and
And Jesse missed it.
Jesse missed it, and Steve no, Cole missed it because it's Casey's baby shower.
Oh, the baby
Cole.
shower.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
Cole.
bridal shower.
No, no, it was the baby shower. Cole missed it.
So he missed that and the photo shoot.
Yes,
No way. I would not have been
yes.
okay with that. She is an angel, and you should be damn lucky that she's marrying your sorry ass.
Yep. So, I like that we got to see Steve's mom there, and Christy has not seen her since they broke up. I thought it was
I
very
know.
interesting, especially because, she was kind of painted out to be a bit of a monster, the fact that she threw her son out when he was 12 years old. And
I bet you there's more to that story.
I know, I mean, we got it from Galyna, so
Yeah.
maybe there is more to that story. Maybe there is more to that story. But, they hugged and, they Steve's mom was crying, and you could see Christy was emotional too because,
Yeah.
that was her mother-in-law for however many years they were married,
Right.
you know? Then on the
And
ba
weren't they together, like, a long time before
Yeah,
they got married
I
too?
think so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then at the same time, back in Nashville, the boys are meeting up with their dad for the first time in several months, and they're all going out to dinner. And then we find out that Galyna's in Nashville also because she was there for the spices, which makes sense because she's a part of the business.
And
And
so is Masha. And was Brooke there too? I mean,
I know, right?
it's ridiculous. And that whole business meeting was bullshit. First off, you don't sell spices to complement your meat. You might sell a sauce, but like sprinkle spices for meat? It
I
just doesn't seem to
I
be a natural progression.
I don't know. They have a lot of businesses, so this may be just another branch out that they're doing,
Yeah.
spices and sauces. Who knows? The dinner was supposed to be a family dinner, but Stephen Jr. invited Galyna to the dinner. So,
And did not tell her that his father was gonna be there.
well, I think she had to know that. I mean,
Well, so the storyline was that he did not tell her that he was gonna be there.
right. Stephen says he needs Galyna to help him get through this FBI investigation. Stephen Jr. says this
I
because
wouldn't trust her.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. And I don't know if you saw any of the comments on our clips. Everyone agrees with me that Galyna is 100% involved in this whole thing, and
Mhm.
the reason that they're where they are is because of Galyna.
You know what? When something bad like that happens, the family needs to circle the wagons, and Galena is not family.
No, she's not. She's really
And
not.
yeah, I think, all right, you're making a TV show, blah, 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 but I would have gotten rid of her a long time ago. Everybody is replaceable.
Yeah.
Everyone, but as a CFO, in big companies, I worked for a Fortune 10 company. I worked for one of the biggest companies in the world. And we used to force our financial people had to take vacations. You couldn't just take it in days. You had to take a week at a time because that gave us the opportunity to go in and do like forensic accounting on what you're doing. I mean, it was all up and up. You don't lie to anybody. Everybody knows about it.
Right,
But you
right.
have to do that because you can't trust anyone. Everyone's
Mm.
work has to be checked and double checked in their absence.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't
Yep.
know why they don't just do that. Hire an outside auditing firm, like,
Mhm.
do that and find out what's going on. And, to give all this control to one person, to me, is crazy,
To
especially
the
cons
person that broke up your parents' marriage,
Yeah, yeah,
she's a cheater. You
yeah,
you have to worry about the trust levels.
right. So it happens to be Jesse's birthday that day. Steve says he's wrapping up his projects in Nashville, and Galyna says that she's moving on. I don't really think that she is. In the meantime, Masha
Did
is
you
te
see she looked like she was gonna cry through that whole dinner?
Yeah. In the meantime, Masha is texting Steve, like, frantically while he's sitting at the table, so he gets up and goes to the bathroom, and you can literally hear him yelling at her, like,
You could hear both of them, they had it all in the subtitles.
yeah, I mean, that was crazy. He's like, "Respect my time with my sons." And the interesting thing is, like, he was yelling at his son about Kayla. She won't even let you answer the phone when you're after 5. Like, you can't run a business and, be that way. And
Mhm.
yet he's got this woman, Masha, who is crazy. I mean, literally crazy, right?
Oh, yeah, and I don't doubt for 1 second that she wasn't the one that bashed in his car window.
And the sons.
And bashed in the son's window to take the suspicion off of her, okay? Listen, I'm on the other end. I'm the wife, and if my husband did that to me, I'd take that golf club, everything I could find that that bitch owned would be smashed as well as him. There's 2 people
I listen,
involved in that.
I feel first of all, that was crazy that they come out
Mhm.
and find their windows smashed like that. I'm sure that there is a Ring camera on that house in Nashville, and I'm sure that there is footage.
Or cameras inside those cars. They
Yeah,
have my brother's got one. It
yeah,
records 24/7 everything around the car.
yeah. So after dinner, they all go out and they get on this party bus. And then we hear a little bit more about Jesse and Allie, that they met in high school and they've been together ever since. Jesse said all his dad and brothers can talk about is the wedding and the prenup, and he's starting to freak out. And I don't blame him. I mean, I would be freaking out too. First of all, getting married is nerve wracking to begin with, right? We all know that.
And then you have the cameras in your face, and your father might go to jail. He has a lot to be worried about.
He's got a lot to be worried about.
But he's got a great woman, and she's no slouch. She's an
Nurse
advanced
practitioner.
practice nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
They
Absolutely.
do really, really well.
Yeah.
They do really well. And she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she really is. So Stephen Jr. says it's the first time he's been to Nashville as a single guy, and so whatever happens, happens, which is fine. That's fine for him, right?
Yeah.
The
Bring
next day
find some friends. Find some other friends, though. Leave your brothers out of it.
we see that it's the day of Kaci's maternity photo shoot, and she's getting her makeup done, and, they're talking about how Cole was supposed to be there. But it was nice that Allie was there to support her. I like that she
I
was
know.
there.
I know. But didn't Kaci look I mean, didn't she look beautiful?
Yeah, she's a
Oh,
beautiful girl. She really is a beautiful girl.
gorgeous.
Yeah. And then back in Nashville, we see the next morning, Stephen Jr. wakes up and he sees Lady's boots there, and he's like, "Oh, no." So he starts knocking on doors to see, like, whose boots these are.
Yeah.
But thank goodness the girl was up in Braden's room.
Yeah.
So he was single, so it was okay. Like, it was
And
okay.
that's the baby brother.
Yes, that's the youngest.
But who were all those people sleeping there? Brother must have brought a lot of friends because I saw them at the dinner too. There were like 4 or 5 extra guys there. How many bedrooms does that place have?
Yeah, I don't know because they did I remember when Steven walked in, he said table for 11. So there was 11 people at that
Mhm.
dinner. So yeah, I know that Jake was there, and we've seen Jake quite a bit, and I think Jake's windows got smashed in also. 3 vehicles that got their windows
Oh, I thought it
smashed.
was only 2. I
No,
thought it was
it was 3.
Kaci and the father.
And I think it was Jake's also. I think it was Jake's also. Cole got he got too drunk, and when he came home, he went to sleep without calling Kaci.
Happens.
And it does happen, but that was one of the 2 things that she asked
Mhm.
for. So Cole FaceTimes with Kaci in the middle of her photo shoot, and he apologized for not calling her, and, he tells her she looks amazing. Steven Sr.'s at the house with the boys, and the boys show him a photo of Masha on Instagram in downtown. He's like, "Oh," like, acting like he didn't know she was there. He knew she was there, come on.
Didn't she tell him that? Oh, no, he said to her, "Don't come to Nashville."
Right. She was already there. He had to know
Yeah.
she was there. I mean,
They
come
probably
on.
drove up to get she's probably up there because like you said, he's probably living at that house.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Um, they go out and the windows are all busted in the pickup truck. It was Jake, Steven Sr.'s, and Steven Jr.'s. I wrote it down. Obviously, they think Masha did it. Because they didn't even take anything out of the truck. They just broke the windows. You don't just break windows for no reason, like, unless you're being vengeful. But
And
then
how
all of a
did
sudden,
somebody else not walk past the car and steal something?
right. But as they're doing this, all of a sudden, Masha walks in. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And you hear her upstairs yelling with Steve, and, he's like, "Oh, you flew down here?" And she's like, "I don't care." She said she's down here for a spice meeting, meaning Galyna, like, she's all mad that Galena's down here.
And she was accusing him of sleeping with letting her sleep at the house
Right,
with him.
right.
And I bet you Galyna would have, especially to get back at Masha.
Oh, definitely she would have. Yeah.
I just say, "Dad, you need to walk away from these Russian ladies. They are violent, the 2 of them. You gotta get yourself somebody that's a little chilled out." Or
Mhm.
how about don't date anybody? Play the field because he doesn't want a committed relationship.
Right.
It's very obvious. And he's been married for so long. Don't forget that divorce only happened, what, in 2 years at the
20
most?
Yeah, wouldn't I say it was 21? I think I said that he was
Oh,
divorced
okay,
in
that's a little longer than I thought. Yeah.
21. But still, I mean, he'd been married for so many years, and he's made it
Mhm.
perfectly clear that he does not want to be in a relationship, then he should not be in a relationship. But I think that he is honestly, I think he's the classic narcissist. I think that he love bombs these women,
Mhm.
and, he feeds off of the fact that they just are obsessed with him. He
He
feeds off
loves
it.
it.
Yeah, he does.
Look at the photos. I don't think he's a good-looking man. He's not my type. But look at the photos of him when he got married and, when he was younger. He's much better looking now than he was. So now he's buff. He's got women paying attention. Go for it, dude. You know what? You've already destroyed your marriage to a beautiful, sweet woman. So just
Mhm.
play the field.
Yeah,
You don't have to be committed to anyone.
I agree. I totally
You know?
agree. We see that the boys get back home at 6:30 in the morning. So they must have driven all night. I don't know when they left or how that worked.
No, I thought they said Steve Sr. said, "Oh, you guys were partying till 6 in the morning? I heard you guys partying till 6 in the morning?"
No, that's I because it was on the bottom of the screen when they pulled up at the house. It said 6:30 AM when they got back home.
Okay.
Then we see Steven Jr. and his mom, Christy, go for coffee, and he said originally it wasn't supposed to be a guy's trip, it was supposed to be a work trip, but we all knew differently. Christy said, it's horrible timing, like, you need to
Yeah.
look at that now. Like, you're
Mhm.
single and your brothers are not. The
Now I
wedding.
rewatched that scene 2 or 3 times because I didn't understand it with the mother walking out and him blowing up. She was basically telling him, in other words, "Go find some other friends. Your brother are in committed relationships, and they shouldn't be going to Nashville with you." And he's acting like, "Okay, I can never go to Nashville again," and blah, 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 It's like, no, nobody's saying that. Just don't drag your brothers into the gutter with you.
Yeah.
This is the first time Steve says that he's been single for since Calla, and that's gotta be 3 or 4 years.
Right, right.
And I don't buy it because I don't think they were together that whole time. I think that is one of those on-off
Well,
relationships.
I think he said that. I think he said that they've broken up and been like, and the
Yeah.
family kind of recognizes that too. They've been on again, off again, on again, off again. But she's really saying that he needs to be the big brother and set the example because obviously the
Mhm.
father's not going to set the example. And I don't remember, he did say something to her that was kind of snotty. And she's like, don't speak to me that way. The reason I think
That's what
she
I went
left,
back to watch.
right. The reason I think that she left is she did not like his tone. She's still his mother. And, you need to respect me. You don't speak to me that way. I am your mother. And if I say this, then that's how it is. You're not going to talk to me like I'm one of your buddies or you're in a business meeting. I'm your mother. And she
So,
wasn't,
going back and rewatching that, I felt that there were some underlying issues we didn't know about. I
yeah,
think something else is going on there. Maybe it's just the pressure of the FBI thing.
it could be.
But
It
he
could
was
be.
upset because she's telling him he can never go out again, and she never said that.
No, she never said that.
She
She never
was
said
just
that.
telling him, pretty much leave your brothers out of it. And he was acting like a 5-year-old. "Fine, I'll never go back to Nashville again."
Right. Right.
Yeah. It's like, grow up. You're supposed to be running this company, and he's the oldest brother, right? Yeah, Steve's
Yes.
the oldest brother. How old is he?
I think now he's 32. Like,
Okay.
in real time. I think then he was maybe 31 or 30.
Alright. All she's telling him is to grow up.
Yeah, that's all she's saying. That's it. And then she gets up and she leaves, and then he calls up Cole and says, "Listen, mom, mom just walked out." And he's like, "Why?" And he said she was not happy about the Nashville trip. We all knew that. She made that perfectly clear even before you went. She made that clear. And while he's sitting there, that's when he gets the text from Calla.
Calla.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week with that. But some interesting stuff popped up on Instagram. This weekend was Alexis Bellino's bridal shower.
And who was standing right next to her in the photo?
So in that photo, there was Tamra, there was Joe, there was Galyna from McBee Dynasty, and there was Alexis, right?
Right.
And I said to cousin Gina, like, how do they know each other? And I Googled it. So Alexis and Galyna share a publicist, and they met, I guess, a few years back, and they got really close when Galyna was in Southern California. I don't know why she was in Southern California because that's not where that's none of the places we've heard of.
And I also saw a photo of Galyna with Julia, Martina's wife.
Mhm.
Now, they are both Russian, but it doesn't mean that just because you're Russian that you know all the other Russians in the country,
No.
because Julia's in Florida and she's in Missouri, but she did live in Florida, remember?
She did live in Florida. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And it could just be the Bravo thing, Like
I
she
think
said,
it's
they
all just the Bravo thing. Even with the Alexis Bellino, like we know they share a publicist. That was out
right.
there.
Right.
But it's just, Bravo has these parties and everybody gets invited.
Yeah.
It's just like how Summer House and Southern Charm got together.
Yeah.
Now they're all best buddies.
I think a lot of friendships are, like, born at BravoCon, at the
Mhm.
upfronts where they do things together, like, they all get together, all the different shows from Bravo. I think that's where these people form these friendships because they're kind of living in the similar world, doing it, a similar thing for the same company. So, yeah, I guess it does make sense, right?
I love crossovers. We have a crossover coming up next season. Salt Lake City goes on Below Deck again.
I know, with
But
Captain
the below
Jason.
wait, they got Daisy and who's the chef? Ben.
I know.
I think that's the crew. It's Captain Cutie, Daisy, and
Jason.
Ben.
Captain Cutie.
You know what I did all day today or
What?
yesterday? I watched, Colin, the old engineer from
Yes, yes.
he has a YouTube channel called Parlay Revival.
What is that?
Parlay Revival is a a catamaran that he bought.
Oh, that's the name of his catamaran.
He bought a hurricane destroyed catamaran and they salvaged it, and it's a beautiful boat, and him and his crew sail the South Pacific and make YouTube, and he said that he's able to, support himself off of that now. He was going to use it to do surfing charters. He said, but the money in YouTube was so good, he didn't have to.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it's
Good for
called
him.
Parlay, Parlay Revival or
Good
Sailing Parlay Revival.
good for him. I always liked him.
Yeah, me too.
So another, like, crossover thing is with OC. Kelly and I recapped it yesterday, but the podcast is gonna drop this week, but we had mentioned about, when they were down in New Orleans, the last time Tamara was down there was when she was down there with Bronwyn and Teddy, and I was like, "Bronwyn?" Like, I didn't
Which
really
Bronwyn? From Salt Lake or
from
from
OC.
the
So
one they all hated?
well, that's what I thought. I was like, I didn't even think that Bronwyn got along with Tamara when they were on the OC. So I had looked it up to see, like, what their connection was, and apparently Bronwyn was a guest host for Teddy on the podcast while Teddy was on a spring break.
Huh.
So I didn't realize that. So those 3, I guess, became friends and were hanging out together in New Orleans for Super Bowl just, 4 weeks before her diagnosis.
Well, guess who went to Portugal with Bronwyn?
Who?
Right here.
You did?
Well, we went separately, but it was the weirdest thing. I went to Portugal.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I went somewhere else too, traveling around, and Bronwyn is posting we were traveling Portugal, the same places. So I message her,
You
just
did?
like and she messaged me back.
She
We were
did?
just like and I wasn't like, "Oh, we should hook up or anything." I was just saying, "Oh, yeah, I just left Lisbon and I went here, and if you're going up this way, you gotta go see the Chapel of the Bones." So we started PMing because we both went from Lisbon up to Porto.
Oh, that's so
So
funny.
for the whole vacation, we were messaging each other.
Very
Never
interesting.
heard from her again, and I never messaged her either.
Oh,
I
that's
was
ve
sending copies to my girlfriend, she was flipping out. She's like, "I can't believe you got a new best friend, Bronwyn."
How many years ago was that?
Last year, year before.
Oh, that's so funny. That's
Yeah, she was off the show and she was with her girlfriend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very
We got
interesting.
there at the same time, we landed in Lisbon because I just, looking at IG, and we landed, like, the same day, and then we just were traveling. We had the exact I guess a lot of people do. You land in Lisbon, and then you go up, this way. I almost ran into her at Nazare, where they have the 100-foot waves.
So who
Yeah.
who knew the Bravo universe is that big? Like, it expands all over.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next week on McBee Dynasty, but I really do love this show.
Me too. I'm so glad you're watching it.
I am too. I am too. I'm glad you told me, and I'm glad I followed up with it. Next week, hopefully, we'll have Kelly on with us as well and get her take on it in
She's
the
gonna
recap.
love it.
Yeah, yeah. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.